Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. Today, we have some interesting content. We are going to look at all of the rankings for the servers. So if you're interested to see how all of the servers are doing, hang tight with me. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as we bring daily content. Today, guys, we're going to go over an interesting topic that's been on my mind, and that is how are all the servers doing? As you can see beside me, we have servers 1 through server 11. Today, we're not going to do server 1 because that is a beta server and it was well in advance to everybody else. We're going to do servers 2 through 8. And the reason that I don't have 9, 10, and 11 is because 9 and 10 have not opened up fully all their cities. So therefore, they do not have world rankings and unable to get that information. Server 11 has just opened up, so that's completely irrelevant. So whenever that information becomes available, I'll try to do this again. But I was interested to see how server 2 through server 10 was doing. So I set out to get as much screenshots as I could from players, as you have to be a level 18 to see everything. So shout out to the players that did help me when I messaged them to compile all of this information. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best, man. I love you guys as a community, and I appreciate you guys sticking with the channel. All right, guys, let's dive into this. Let's go to server 2. Server 2 is 98 days old. Okay, so that's when the game very first published or went official. So it's been 98 days. As you can see, some of the top alliances right here. So to the left, you have the top alliances XYT, BAG, WAG, Weed, and BAG W. Now keep in mind, guys, that when I snapshotted most of these, or players snapshotted most of these, they could be off a little bit. Some people could have been in other alliances building, they could have been in farms, they could have been invading, they could have not had troops, so their power might not be reflected. So bear with me, guys, okay? It was just for me to get something to show. All right. So anyway, as you can see right here, we have 3 teams that are above 1 billion power, and that is because it is server 2 at 98 days old. The kills right here, we have XYT with 2.8 million, WAG with 1.7, BAG with 1.5. So we have 3 teams with over 1 billion, or over 1 million kills, sorry. And then we have the power ranking. I do believe Dos Bijos didn't have any troops in, so he's much higher than that. I think he's in the 22, 23 million power range. But anyway, that's the power, and that's also the kills. All right, guys. So I was interested to see server 3, okay? So server 3 is 91 days. So exactly about a week afterwards, it opened up. All right. And so it has 2 teams that are over 1 billion power, with one really close to getting up to that range. So just a week behind. The kills, though, a little bit lower, but still, kill has quite a bit at 1.9 million, but then it falls underneath the million mark, but it's still close to the million. So I would say with the time duration, it's pretty on par with the same thing. They have a player that is 25 million. His name is Marv. I tried to message Marv. He didn't message me back, but it's all good. But a 25 million power player, which is a little bit higher, I believe, than server 2. I'd have to check that to date, but that's very interesting. And then we have PNDV with the most kills. Now, what I notice about this, the individual kills are much, much higher here. You have 426,000, some 200s, so quite a bit of kills for server 3. So server 4 is 87 days. So as you can see, the duration was not very far to go to this one. And so the servers are opened up based upon how much they're filled. So once all the cities are filled and they have enough bases in them, regardless if they were farms or just created or however they were created. When they're filled and they go on. So when people stop downloading the game, the duration is longer before the next server. So it is not perfectly calculated every single 7 days or 3 days or whatever. Anyway, Hero is at 989 million. We have World at 970, and then we have Apes at 926. So you're in line for about, Hopefully, they each get into the billion category pretty soon. So that falls in line being at 87 days instead of 98. So we have two alliances, though, that have over a million kills. And so you could tell that there's been a lot of killing going on here in server 4 as far as total in alliance help. But what you will notice, though, is that the power ranking is relatively low, meaning you don't have a bunch of 20 plus million power players. You have the Attila guy at 18 million, but then it goes down. Those numbers right there are consistent with, numbers of players that are spending a little bit, moderately, but, pushing up into the ranks, not something crazy. But you look at their kills. So their kills are all kind of low as far, I'm not going to say that's a bad thing, but they're lower than other ones that you saw at 400,000. So what that tells me is that there is more players in total killing because of the total alliance kills than just a single player killing a whole bunch or a couple of them. But this is server 4. Let's go to server number 5. Server number 5 is 84 days old. So a lot of people downloading the game. Didn't take long to open these up. We have 5 Wolf Nation that is over a billion power. And then the rest of them jump drastically down. Probably were killed off or something happened to them. Not exactly sure. But 800 million, 760, 727. So it looks like just one power full alliance ish. The other ones are not falling in line with the 1 billion or close to it. And you look at the kills are not that much. The alliance kills are relatively low. Then we have a power player at 26 million. That guy is definitely pushing. And then you have one almost Legend Duke at 20 million, which is good. And it goes down from there. The kills, once again, as you see, 141, 138, 132. But this is only 84 days open. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm trying to take into account the fact of when the servers were open, as they won't be equal. But this is nevertheless one of them. Now we have server number 6 at 81 days. So I noticed these 3 segmented servers were very fast. They filled up very fast, and they, did not take long to open up the next server. So right here we have 200 psychos. I know that you guys probably have seen a couple of his videos. He's actually posted some of his videos, but they are almost 1 billion in power. And then from there you go to 850 and then 711. Bro has the most kills, and then VE. And so you have 3 teams right here that have over 1 million kills. So a lot of killing going on within server 6. I mean, to have that young and then have 3 over 1 million is extremely good. And the power is relatively good because you have 17 million, but once again, they're only 81 days, but 17 million, and then it goes down into 11. So pretty even on the power. What I mean by that is, players that are moderate spenders probably, are able to get up into the ranks instead of too high of a power gap. And then we have the kills, which is at 211, 195, 153. So that's good, man. Almost into the 200s. The kill ratio in server 6 is definitely up there for being at 81 days. Right now, we'll go into server number 7, which is 72 days. So did you guys notice that gap? The gap definitely changed within that server or whatever, from server 6 to server 7. Here we still, even though it's only 72 days, we have one that's almost at 1 billion power, which is extremely well and good. H&H, and then you have OP 737. And then the next is 687, so that's really good. The kills at 755, 711, 586, I would anticipate they would be going up towards the million mark by the time that it got to where server 2 was. But their power is pretty good at 16, almost 17 million power player, 15, 13, and 12. So that's good. And then their kills almost close to the 200,000 mark. So definitely some killing going on in server 7 and looking good for only being 72 days. Now we have server 8. This is the last one that I'm able to get a world ranking screenshot from. But as you can see, only 56 days old. Did you guys notice the gap there? The gap is extremely, it's almost a couple weeks. And I noticed that between 7 and 8, 8 and 9, and then 10, or 8, 9, and 10 is a lot. And I think that's because the game wasn't getting downloaded as much. But needless to say, it is what it is. So let's look at it: 667, 503, and 476. Now, with that in line of only 56 days, that is definitely on the mark to getting a couple billion power alliances, which is really, really good. And the kills are definitely nice so far, but Ruby definitely pushing along on the kills. 867 already just in the kills. Ruby also has the most powerful player at 14, almost pretty much you could say 15 million power. And then the personal kills, we have RDZ with 128,000, and then Ban with 105. So those guys will definitely look good here in about 3-4 weeks if the killing continues. I know that Server 8, I shared some footage. They had some good wars going on. So anyway, guys, that is the powers of the servers 2 through servers 8. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you would, leave a thumbs up and a like, and we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.